Welcome to the Mario Matter, the #1 Nintendo podcast.
Folks, it's not every day that a brand new Switch 2 Special Edition leaks, but today it has happened. Welcome on into the Mario Matter. I am your host, Nintendo Switch 2 YouTuber EmSwizzle. Episode 205. It is a beautiful day to be alive. That actually rhymes. Did you catch that? Maybe not. What is on today's show? We go over that. First things first, we gotta talk about this leaked Zelda Switch 2. We thought it might be a thing, we had rumors about it being a thing, but now it is confirmed. We dive into that. After that, tons of Nintendo news, even more leaks during that segment. We talk about that, then, excuse me, golly, we end with a Q&A segment as we always do. And our guest today, Max, how's it going? We have the same name.
I know, dude, this is crazy. We got like the multiverse of Maxes going on right now.
We do. Well, thank you so much for agreeing to come on this podcast. I love watching your content. You have very insightful takes. I love all of your New York stuff. You're based in New York, right?
I'm not actually. I'm
okay.
in North Carolina.
Oh, well, okay. I see you like go up there sometimes. We've had Gabe on the podcast, and I see like you guys do shorts and things like that. So I thought you were up there. Sorry, my apologies. But you actually you're not too far, right? You're not too far. So
not too far. You're not the only one that's thought I've lived in New York. Since I've done so many videos over there, I understand why people think it. Right.
Well, either way, thank you for coming on the podcast. We have some big things to discuss here, Max. There's no other way to put it. Then we have a leaked special edition Nintendo Switch 2 console, our first special edition Switch 2. It is the Zelda-themed Switch 2. There's no hiding it, no sugarcoating it. It is on screen for our listeners. Let's just dive in. We look at the console, Max. What do we think?
So there's things that I like, there's things that I don't like about it. Mm-hmm. It's not exactly what I thought it was going to be when I think of a Zelda Switch 2, to be honest.
Okay.
I feel like Zelda has always been gold with their limited edition consoles. Mm-hmm. You know, Tears of the Kingdom was a little bit of a different Switch. It had a little bit of gold, and there's a little bit of gold, of course, in here. But I really felt that, you know, for the 40th anniversary, they were going to go all gold. Like if you look at some of those other 3DSs that they released.
Right.
So it's not exactly what I thought it was going to be. The color combination's very interesting because it reminds me of A Link Between Worlds with the gold and black design that it seems to be having. And it's got the green, of course. So definitely not what I expected. I'm still trying to figure out if I like it or not.
Yeah. I think it's largely fine to me and in my eyes. Excuse me. I'm still waking up over here. My voice is all raspy. I promise I'm not sick over here, golly. But I think the biggest thing for me is the dock. I think Joy-Cons look fine. I don't love, and it's a cool design, right? Like it's fine, but I don't like how half of it is essentially plain and half is gold. I think it's an eyesore. I don't love that. Once again, Joy-Cons, fine. I'll take it. I mean, like for a Zelda special edition, you know, the most recent one, I think the Zelda OLED looked a little bit cooler. You had more, like you're saying, gold in that. I think this is a slight miss, but I do think if you're a Zelda fan and you're excited for the Ocarina of Time remake, I think you're still you're probably gonna buy this if you have the money to. Would you agree, or do you think most Zelda people will pass on it?
It's so hard to say right now with all these video game consoles continuing to go up. This might be one of the first times that Zelda fans will be like, maybe I need to skip out on this one. Like it's still going to do well. I'm sure it will sell out, but I definitely feel like there are going to be some people that would typically buy this that won't buy it just because of how everything is right now. And I also noticed, I don't know if it was just because of how the photo was taken, it looked like at the bottom of the dock, it looked like it was like wood. It had like brown wood to it. So that's another added color to the dock right there that I am a little thrown off by.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't even notice that. Wow. So I guess the other question, because a lot of people don't believe things until they're announced. And like, that's great. I wish I was you. Unfortunately, I can't be you. I buy into every single leak that I see, unfortunately. So I can't be you. Do we think this is real? And we have one more aspect of this whole picture to talk about. But just before we even get there, because there's somebody out there rolling their eyes, Max, do we think this is real?
I think it's real, but I will say we've been so focused on the fact of, is it an AI photo, to what if it's actually a Photoshop, a very good Photoshop. I feel like AI has taken over to where we forget that there are good Photoshops out there. So just throwing that possibility out there. But I do feel like it is real. But I mean, we've seen before some crazy Photoshops back in the day.
For sure.
Like the thing that I think about all the time, the Rayman Smash Bros. Leak back in 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Bro, that's still one of the craziest leaks, I feel like. And I don't know, what if the guy comes back with a fake Zelda Switch? That would be hilarious.
Right. It's tough because with how many things actually leak, we look at what, like prior to when the Switch 2 came out, the dock is getting leaked, the Joy-Cons, the extra button, like every single thing about Switch 2 got leaked. I even look at previously, Zelda OLED gets leaked. Like so many things get leaked nowadays. This doesn't surprise me at all. And I think just listen, Photoshop jobs can be done so well, but the way that this nice, cardboard is laid out and how the boxes aren't folded yet, something screams this is real. Even a small touch like on the, well, I shouldn't mention it yet because we have yet to get there, but on the Pro Controller that also leaked, on the box, that little like white strip at the very top that has like that code on it, that's a very real detail. Like everything lines up, but I already leaked it. I didn't announce it for our listeners yet. There is also a leaked Pro Controller. Is this any better than the console, do we think?
So it's almost perfect for me. Almost.
Okay.
For whatever reason, the left side of the controller has a black handle to it. And I feel like that's like the most random thing ever to it. If it was green, both sides were green, that would make sense to me. Because then you have a mixture of green and gold. And I feel like that's good for Zelda. And I feel like that Pro Controller was almost perfect. I don't know what they're doing here. Right.
It's weird. I thought the exact same thing. I don't like the unevenness. I would want green on both sides. Or it doesn't have to be green. You can make it white on both sides. I don't know. But they even had this problem with the old Switch Pro Controller, the Zelda one. Like half of it was just white. Like, I don't like the style that they're going in here. And even beyond that, this is not the first controller that they've made where half of it is not the same color as the other half. I think we could have tried a new design here. I mean, let's be real, though. I don't think they have to try super hard. They can make a all black controller and just slap a Triforce on it and sell it as Zelda's 40th anniversary merch. So I'm not expecting them to try super hard. I think it looks nice. Last thought here. I like how it has green, whereas like the older controllers didn't really have that much green. Talking about I'm talking about the Pro Controller. Didn't have much green in it. And so I like that this has green, but outside of that, my question is, with both of these things being leaked, are we happy or disappointed that it's not Ocarina of Time themed?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like if it was Ocarina of Time themed, we might have got closer to what we were wanting the Switch to be. But I guess it seems like Nintendo is about to announce that they're going all in for the Zelda anniversary. So I guess that's why they're making this pivot to titling it a Zelda 40th anniversary Switch. Right. Because it sounds like they're going to have like a whole thing just similar to how they do Mario. So I guess that's the move. I would like it to be Ocarina of Time themed because it'd be closer to what we want. But I think I see what Nintendo's doing.
Yeah, and it makes sense. I would argue that 40th anniversary branding is stronger than Ocarina of Time branding because it feels more like a crazy occasion, you know? So I could see that side of it too. Yeah, I think I also kind of, I was going to say I prefer the 40th anniversary style over an Ocarina of Time style. Because, like, you want to have that controller forever, and if they make a new 3D Zelda on Switch, you want to be able to have this controller and not have it say Ocarina of Time on it. I think General Zelda is good, so I'll take that. The only other thing that I think about, like, I'm sure we're on the same page. We both think these are real. Mm-hmm. We both think these look like decent enough to maybe purchase. I have two remaining questions that we should solve here. Number one, Max. Mm-hmm. It sounds like I'm talking to myself here because I keep saying Max. What of these are we buying, if anything? Here, what are we buying? So, what are you buying out of these two? Let's see.
Definitely buy the Pro controller. Mm-hmm. I'll definitely buy that, even though it's not perfect for me. It's close enough to where I want it.
Sure.
The Switch 2 itself, I'm not sure yet. Mm-hmm. I feel like I could get a very good video out of buying it, so that's why I'm thinking about buying it.
Yep.
But I'm also thinking, wow, that's a $500 gamble that I'm about to throw at.
Yes.
So I don't know. So I'm looking at it from that perspective. If it wasn't for the fact that I was a YouTuber, I would not buy this system again. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's that cool enough to double dip for the Switch, especially whenever I feel like we're going to get a Switch 2 OLED in the next few years. Mm-hmm. That would be my mindset. I would wait for that.
Right. I see that side of it for sure. I think, because we also have to take into account that when this comes out, the Switch 2 will be $500 instead of the $450 that it is right now. So you got to think about that extra $50 and buying a whole new console. I like your point. I think we can take part in the fun, buy the Pro controller, which still is not cheap, $95 or whatever it is now. Not cheap. But the console itself, I'd only buy if you're a Zelda fan and you don't have a Switch 2. I mean, I guess you can take both. You can be a Zelda fan and have a Switch 2 and still want to buy it, but you just like, I guess you're just rolling in money, I guess. I don't really know. But, like, I think it's good for the Zelda fan that wants to buy a Switch 2 and does not have one yet. Otherwise, I might just buy the Pro controller. But even that's, like, man, I remember back in the day, and I'm sure that you, like, can, recall these times, too. Like, when they release, Mario Wii remotes for the Wii U, like, you can buy these, and they're not too bad on the wallet. This is $95. This is more than, like, a Switch game. It's almost a Switch game and a half. Like, yep. It's a lot of money. So I have to think about it, and maybe you do too, but like, maybe I buy the Pro controller, because I've been like meaning to buy a second Pro controller for a while, so maybe I just do it here. I don't know, but it's hard to buy these things because of how expensive they are nowadays. So anywho, those are my thoughts, but I'll probably buy the controller, so
I think that's the right idea. The controller is definitely a must for me, I feel like. Especially, like you said, I need a second Pro controller as well. Haven't bought one because I wanted to wait for a limited edition one.
Right.
And when they announced a Resident Evil one, I was like, oh, that would be the one. And then I saw it. It looked absolutely horrible. So I was
Nothing.
like, I want to move on from this.
Right.
Now the Zelda one seems to be the perfect one for me now.
Yeah, so my final question to wrap this all up, and I've talked about it on like the last 3 podcasts, but I want everyone's take. I want my updated take documented week by week. When do we think this will come out? Will it come out the same day as Ocarina of Time? By the way, when is that day? Like, give me your whole spiel on when you think the game and these accessories are coming out.
All right. So I'm expecting that the controller will come out with the game. Mm-hmm. But the system will come out before the game.
Okay, interesting.
Over the last few special edition Switches, that's how Nintendo has handled it. Like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, that had their Switch. It came out 2 weeks before the game. Mm-hmm. Tears of the Kingdom came out 2 weeks. The special edition console came out before then. Yep. And then whenever they did like accessories like that, the controller, that came out the same day as Tears of the Kingdom. So I think they're going to space those two out. I would be surprised if Nintendo launches it all on the same day. I think the only reason why they would do that is if they don't want to release so much stuff close to like GTA 6. Because I feel like Zelda will come out before GTA 6. But I mean, it'd be crazy if they launched the console same day as GTA 6. Could you imagine?
Imagine that.
So I feel like for Ocarina of Time, I feel like the game itself, my prediction, if I remember correctly, I think November 12th is a Thursday.
Yes.
We know that Kirby amiibos are coming out that day. We've seen in the past, or really all of this year, anytime Nintendo releases an amiibo, there's typically a game release with it. That's what's happened with all the Kirby Air Rider amiibos this year.
Knowledgeable. Yes.
So I feel like Ocarina of Time is coming out on that date. And I don't, well, actually, now that Zelda is getting like this whole branding of the 40th anniversary, I didn't originally think we were going to get Ocarina of Time amiibos, but now I'm wondering if they're going to release like a 40th anniversary amiibo at this point.
Right. And that would be sick, by the way. Everyone's buying those. It's the same way with like the Mario Galaxy stuff. Everyone's buying those. I love what you said. It makes so much sense. And it's not hard to like predict how these things will release because as you just talked about, like historically, consoles 2 weeks before, controller same day, Kirby, like I remember when like the Kirby Air Ride, I think it might have been like King DDD, the amiibo launched the same day as Rhythm Heaven Groove. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. But yeah, they like to kind of bunch the release dates. So with the Kirby amiibo releasing in November on the 12th, I see that aligning. Like, I agree fully with what you just said. I would predict the game comes out, probably that 12th date. But then I guess my question is like, if they put the console out 2 weeks before, what is 2 weeks? Because wouldn't that collide with
like
the Switch Sports or the oh shoot, now I'm like mixing. So Switch Sports comes out. This is October 22nd, I believe.
Yeah, you're right about that.
So that would be 1 week. Okay, so that can work. It would release if it came out 2 weeks before, and we're going to assume that Ocarina of Time comes out on the 12th. The special edition Switch would come out on the 29th of October. You can do that. I guess that would line up. And then the game and controller release on the 12th of November. Okay, this could make some sense, Max. This is making a lot of sense here. All right, so do you agree with that, or do you think the game comes out a week later or a week earlier than the 12th?
I feel like it's going to be November 12th because I don't think Nintendo wants to come out after GTA 6.
Right.
I don't think they want to come out the same day as GTA 6. Yep. That'd be funny, though.
Right. I would love nothing more than them to go head to head with GTA 6. I mean, just imagine like the headlines, Max. Oh my goodness, it'd be insane. It would do numbers. Well, I guess one game wouldn't do numbers because like they're competing, so like they would both kind of lose out there. But I don't know. I mean, like I would love to see it. So will we see it? Probably not. But either way, like the fact that they're gonna release probably a week apart is still crazy. Like two huge games. So a lot to look forward to, I guess, is the moral of the story in November here. But yeah, overall, our final thoughts: we're both buying the controller.
Definitely on the controller. Yep.
For sure. Alrighty, well, look forward to those being maybe announced in a direct. Oh, you know what? That's a great point. Okay, Max, final question. How are these getting announced? Twitter, direct? How's it happening?
I am expecting September direct.
Yes.
Actually, let me take that back. If a Zelda direct happens this month, I know a lot of people are thinking that could happen. It'll be announced there. But if there's not a Zelda direct this month, I think it will be announced next month in our traditional, assuming it happens, September direct. I think it'll be very similar to how they did Mario last year. It'll be like a full-on 1 hour direct, first 20 minutes Zelda, and then that's where you'll see the controller, console, whatever else is coming out, and then we'll get our traditional direct right after that.
Yeah, I think that's the smartest way, and it also kind of starts off the direct strong. Like for people who have not seen this leak, announcing a brand new special edition at the start-ish of your direct is a pretty big move, and they also have a lot to show. They can show gameplay of Ocarina of Time. That would be a great start. So I think I would lean. We're in full agreement today. I would lean September direct as well. I just think like there's not enough for a Zelda direct unless they want to do like a full 20 half-hour minute thing on just the gameplay, then announce those. But yeah, I like what you're saying. I like just September direct, put it in there, do it big, and then that's it. So Yeah, we're in agreement today. This is very, very nice. We're on the same page totally. So this is cool. But let's go ahead and see if we're still on the same page. Let's get to our Nintendo news headlines, where Max and I go over Nintendo news from this week. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. Folks, you have arrived at the Nintendo news headline segment. Our favorite segment. A lot of things happen, and in a world of Nintendo where no games are releasing for a little bit, I would say, our next game just Switch Sports, or am I missing something, Max?
Fire Emblem next
Fire,
month.
thank you. I am so tuned out. Like I could not focus on that game. When is that coming out?
September 17th. And that also comes out with an amiibo, by the way. We were talking about the amiibo release schedule.
Yes.
The Zelda Construct amiibo comes out that day. So.
Oh, gotcha. I saw that amiibo and I kind of want it, but I forgot the release date. Yeah, I'm sorry. I can't give a second to Fire Emblem. I respect those who do. I'm not crapping on the series. It's just absolutely not for me. I didn't even watch the direct. I didn't even talk about it. I'm sorry. It's just not for me. But so in my mind, I'm waiting until Switch Sports late October. But for now, we do have some news in a world where there's not much in terms of games releasing for Nintendo. We have some leaked things happening here, which actually, I just said no games are releasing. This could count maybe. We have a rumor here that Pokemon Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire might be releasing on Switch. And so this comes from Special Nick on Twitter. I had a problem saying this guy's name like 2 episodes ago. I didn't know that his name was Special. It's spelled SHPESHAL. I pronounced it like Shapishal Nick. I didn't know how to say his name. I know it now. I know because someone corrected me in the comments. So, incredible guy. I actually hadn't heard of him before like 2 months ago, but I ran through his Twitter. Bro is predicting like the Zelda Switch 2 before it comes out, like a lot of different stuff. So I'm going to trust this guy. And he was also right about the Zelda Switch 2 and Pro Controller. So we can trust him. Let's just put it that way. And if he's wrong, I won't trust him again. But once again, he tweeted, currently the ports of Pokemon Ruby, Emerald, and Sapphire are planned for late September/October. So I imagine in the same way that we got Pokemon Leaf Green and Fire Red on the Switch, I would imagine they're also going to bring more Pokemon games as individual purchases onto Switch. Max, are we in support of this? Are we buying these? What's our general feeling here?
I definitely think it's real, just because, like you said, this guy was talking about the Zelda Switch beforehand. He was actually, I think, the first person to talk about it and also say that it wouldn't be an Ocarina of Time Switch.
Yes, he excuse me, he did say that.
So I do believe him on this. I predicted that they were going to do these games at some point. I didn't think they were going to do it in the same year as Fire Red, because if you look back at how they handled the Pokemon re-releases on the 3DS, for the 20th anniversary, they brought Red, Blue, Yellow, all those games. And then when they did Gold, Silver, and Crystal, they did it a year later after releasing that. So I thought they were going to do the same thing. So to see them do it in the same year, I think is pretty exciting. I will definitely buy Pokemon Emerald because I am a big fan of Pokemon Emerald. Would love to replay that game. And I know that's going to do crazy numbers for Pokemon. So that's exciting. But yeah, I'll definitely pick up Pokemon Emerald. I don't think I'll get Ruby and Sapphire though. Yeah,
not much of a need to get all of them, but yeah, because here's the thing, I've not played this generation of Pokemon. I'll get one of them because I was so happy when they brought Leaf Green over. I have a soft spot for Leaf Green because it's not the first Pokemon that I played, but one of the ones I went back to, and I was like, man, this is nice stuff. Game Boy Advance. Imagine playing this back in the day. Like I don't know why I had a soft spot for it. So loved when they brought it back. I'm in favor of them bringing back any of these Pokemon games. I do think it's a little bit weird that it's not on the Game Boy Advance service. They want to make money off of it, and rightfully so. They definitely can. Pokemon sells no matter what. They can do whatever Pokemon and it'll sell. So I see this being real. I think September would be a good time for it because if you're not a Fire Emblemer like me, like a lot of people, there's no disrespect to that series. It's just not for me. I give all the kudos. This could kind of be your September thing. So I see it working better in September than I do October. We got Switch Sports Resort in October. But yeah, how much do we think these will cost?
If I remember correctly, is Fire Red and Leaf Green $20?
That sounds right.
I think it'll probably be in that range.
Yeah, I bet.
Unless Pokemon Emerald, they could make so many people mad and charge that one $5 more.
Yeah,
than the other
25.
Yeah. I could see them doing that just because. And they could get away with it. It's Pokemon.
For sure.
But yeah, I like the September release because October, I think, is going to be a pretty big month. Because I'm pretty sure Duskbloods is going to come out that month as well. Yep. So September makes the most sense for this.
Yeah, I would love if they, as you just said, put the Emerald game $5 higher, because like it would also make people be like, man, what am I missing? Like $5 more, I can get the similar game but better. Like I don't know, it would make people think a little bit. So that'd be funny if they did do that. But yeah, I agree. I think like $20 because it's not incredibly different than like, of a format than like Leaf Green Fire, right? Like you're just putting the game on Switch, $20. If you charge more than that, if they ever did, and they will never, but if they did do like a 30, like you can buy a way better modern game for $30 than these. I mean, well, I shouldn't say, because Pokemon is a good game, but like you can buy much higher quality stuff, new stuff for that price. So I think 20 makes the most sense, and even that's a little bit high. I'd say 15 would be more fair, but yeah, as you're saying, 20. I can see that. So yeah, I mean, look forward to it. We trust Special Nick. He is very, very special apparently, and he gets leaks right. Yes?
I was gonna say, you were talking about his name.
Yes.
I got his name wrong. I couldn't figure it out, so I just didn't say his name in the video.
Oh,
so
yeah?
I didn't realize it was special. So yeah.
I didn't know either. I did two things before I went on this podcast. I read a comment from somebody that said, his name is Special Nick. It's funny how you say Shapishal. And then I, two, found a podcast he was in, and the guy said Special Nick. I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. It's like spelled special. Like, oh, I get it. So, okay, yeah, now we know. We gotta start knowing this guy's name if he can leak stuff like that. So yep. That's funny. But here we go. We have more Nintendo news. One that probably a lot of people know about, one that you're probably taking advantage of maybe already. Super Mario Sunshine is now out on Nintendo Switch Online for the GameCube, Switch 2, membership owners, all the good stuff. It's now out, which, we've known of it for a long time now, ever since, we knew GameCube was coming, and we finally have it a year later. Max, one, have we played it? Two, thoughts on Sunshine. Give me that.
So, it's the only 3D Mario I have not beaten.
Okay, wow.
So I have 3D All-Stars, so I wasn't too crazy about this announcement, but I'm happy for the people that have been waiting, because like you said, we've known about this forever, and I think it's been since like February, March, since we got our last GameCube game on the service.
It was Pokemon, right? XD?
Yeah, I think you're right. It was Pokemon. So good to have that. Mario Sunshine, I liked the game. The thing that I ran into that was troublesome for me were the controls.
Yeah. Camera especially for me.
Yeah, I was struggling with the controls. I will say, whenever 3D All-Stars added that GameCube update to where you could use your GameCube controller, that did make it a little bit better for me with the controls, but the controls still just wasn't for me. Right. I do want to go back to finish it, though, since, all these 3D Mario games are great, and that's the only one I haven't finished, and I really want to finish that one.
Right. I think news like this, new GameCube game added, I feel like for me, and maybe you have a different opinion, it doesn't do much for me, because I feel like if I ever wanted to play a game, whether it be Chibi Robo, whether it be Pokemon XD, at some point, I've probably played them. It's cool that it's on Switch, but there's so many other ways to play these games, whether it be, Sunshine is a pretty rare case, because that had a whole, Switch port on 3D All-Stars, but for a game like Pokemon XD, I might have emulated it or bought the original game. Putting it on Switch is cool, but I'm not doing much with it, if that makes sense. I've maybe already played it I think it works better for games that you can play over and over. I think Mario Strikers, F-Zero, these games were good. And it's always great to bring games over like that, like a story game like Wind Waker or Sunshine, because there are people that haven't played it, but for those who have played it, I think it's kind of like nice, cool, I played it, but thank you, So for some people, it's small news. For other people, it's pretty big news. For me, maybe for you, it lands in the smaller side. Would you play it on Switch now, or do you think like you'd play it on GameCube, emulating it, or like what's your preferred method now?
I think I will go back whenever I decide to play it. I'll go back to 3D All Stars since I already had my save file on there.
Yeah.
So that's how I'd finish it. But I think for me, why I'm just not that excited is we knew this was also coming at some point because they showed off all these GameCube titles. So I kind of want some surprise GameCube titles. I feel like we're starting to get to the point where we should be surprised now, because I think they're almost done getting all the games that they already said was coming to the service.
Yeah.
Mario Sunshine might have actually been the last one.
I think they are done, yeah.
So yeah, the next GameCube announcement I feel like will be exciting because we literally have no idea what's next. So
Right. It's kind of like knowing your Christmas gifts before you open them, which is kind of like what we've been getting. We know what we're getting. It's just a matter of when. So now those are all gone. It's also interesting, I wanted to bring this up, that for anyone who owns 3D All-Stars and Mario Galaxy for the Switch, 3D All-Stars has just become like a dead weight now. You can play Mario 64, Sunshine now, and Galaxy all on your Switch now without needing 3D All-Stars. I have no use for that game anymore. I don't know what to do,
I guess the only thing that makes 3D All-Stars special is, I guess, Sunshine has widescreen, if I remember correctly.
Oh.
And the GameCube doesn't have that. And I think there was a little bit of differences with Super Mario 64. It doesn't have widescreen, but I think there was some changes they did with the camera, if I recall correctly, or it might have been the lives. There was something different with the 3D All-Stars version of Mario 64 compared to the regular N64 version. I can't remember off the top of my head, but
Sure.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. The 3D All-Stars is basically useless now.
Pretty much. I mean, I'm definitely not going back to it, but it's cool collector's item at the very least. Next, I have a funny piece of news I just saw and I wanted to bring up. If you now go to a Switch 2 demo kiosk, whether it's at Target, Walmart, Best Buy, anywhere that you may go, they're now warning you about the price increase. I just thought, like, this is stupid, but it's funny. If you go to a kiosk, you might get this screen that says, "Power up your play. The suggested retail price of the Nintendo Switch 2 system will increase to $499.99 on September 1st. So like we know that the price hike is coming September 1st. Buy your Switch 2s before then. Do we think this is like a marketing tactic? Like, hey, while you're in store, buy now before it goes up, or are they just trying to be good people and warn customers, Max?
Such a good question, because obviously they're a company. They like money. But I will say, I've noticed ever since Nintendo announced the price increase, they've been fully transparent about it all.
Yeah.
And like, I remember when they were saying, I believe it was at the investors meeting when they announced that a price increase was happening, that we're sorry that we have to do this. Which, I mean, again, multi-million-dollar company, of course, but I think they're the only company to say that they're sorry compared to everyone else that's had these price increases. So I do feel like Nintendo is really just trying to warn people at this point, just because of how transparent they've been about everything.
Right.
So I was surprised to see they put that on the kiosks, but I think that is smart because there's a lot of people that's not on social media, stuff like that, that will probably learn that a price increase is coming from that. And I bet this will work where people will buy some Switch 2s just off this when they're like walking in like a Walmart, for example, go to electronics aisle and see that, like, oh, like, especially like grandparents, they see that as like, oh, we got to get this for little Timmy before it's too late.
Yes.
You know?
So, right. I think this would definitely work on me. If I needed a Switch 2, I'm trying to play Zelda Ocarina of Time later this year, and I saw that, I mean, It's $50, which is absolutely not nothing in terms of money, but like you will wake up the next day. It's not, sorry, what I'm saying is like, it's not a $250 difference, but $50 is like, I'll act quick and buy a Switch 2 to save some money. Like, you know, it would work on me. I would buy a Switch 2 if I saw this and I was going to buy one later this year anyway. I would buy it right then and there. It would totally work on me. So I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's being transparent while also like in the back of Miyamoto's head, he's like, oh, you know what? Someone's going to buy a Switch 2 because of this faster than they would have previously. So you know what? It kind of works in their favor a little bit. So I think it's nice of them to put that on there, but they're definitely going to be selling a few more Switch 2s. So I guess goodness all around. You're being transparent and you're selling more. Nothing to hate, you know? So
Yep.
it's all a good time. I actually was at Target yesterday. I wish I would have checked this for myself because I mean, I believe it's a real thing, but I wish I would have seen it so I could just register that and move on. Sad piece of news, though, to end off our news segment is Pokemon Bank for the 3DS, which is essentially the Pokemon Home, but for 3DS, is shutting down February 27th, 2027. Now, here's my thing. Like, Max, I know bits and pieces about Pokemon, but for me in the audience that maybe are a little confused here, are you decently versed on this?
So I'm not big into Pokemon like I was.
Okay.
But I know how Pokemon Bank works. I understand why people are upset about it.
Yes.
So basically, Pokemon Bank was the only way that you could bring the Pokemon that you had from the Nintendo 3DS over to like the current games right now.
Switch, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And what Pokemon Bank was so cool about it is they also had an additional app called like the Poke Transfer, I think is what it was called, where you could bring the Pokemon from the DS games over to Pokemon Bank as well. So you would use that to transfer everything to Pokemon X and Y, basically, and then you would use that game to go over to the Switch to use, I think it's called Pokemon Home, to bring those Pokemon over.
Yes.
And people are upset about it because people have kept Pokemon in there that they took out of their other games because you can't bring all these Pokemon into the newer games because the National Dex doesn't exist.
Yep.
So the reason why people are upset is for those who have those Pokemon in the bank, once it shuts down, you can't get to those Pokemon anymore. So you have to transfer them back to the games that they came from. And I don't know how much of a process that is to do that, if that's even possible, because I've never done that before. I don't think anyone really thought about doing that because they didn't think this was, I mean, I guess it was going to happen at some point, but they just never thought of it. And that's why there's a lot of upset rage over it, just because it was the only way to, you know, transfer these Pokemons from 3DS over to the Switch.
Right. And so now, okay, if I'm not wrong, as we sit here, Bank is not shut down yet. Is it possible, because I'm just not an original hardware Pokemoner, and I'm not sure if you know this, I'm just asking to see if you do. Is it possible to like transfer, if I had a Pokemon on like Pokemon Red on a Game Boy, to get that all the way up to Switch?
There's a way to do it. It involves, I think you'll have to have an actual Game Boy Advance as well to do it. But there's a way to transfer that Pokemon. You have to go through multiple games to do it, but it can be done.
But now this stops it, right? Because like there's no bank?
Yeah, this stops it.
That's so weird.
I guess what Pokemon's going to say is, thanks to the Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green being on the Switch, they're adding the home functionality. They showed the trailer of that. It's coming in October, I think is what they said.
Oh, that makes sense. Because my other piece of news here is Fire Red and Leaf Green will support home.
Yes.
Oh!
So I guess that's going to be their response to what you were saying. It's like, well, actually, if you buy this, you'll be able to do it on the Switch itself, which
that makes sense.
It's still disappointing because you like the idea of taking a Pokemon from the Game Boy Advance to Nintendo DS to Nintendo 3DS. That whole cycle, that does sound pretty cool, even though it's a lot of extra work. It's kind of crazy it was even possible in the first place.
Yeah, but I think even still, like with this piece of news, although it just made sense and I was kind of excited, if some little Jimmy's playing his DS in 2028 and he gets a Pokemon, there's no official way to transfer that up now, huh?
No.
After this. Yeah, that's That sucks, in my opinion.
Especially if it's a shiny Pokemon. Dude,
Yeah, imagine.
imagine.
Oh my goodness. And like he wants to play with that Pokemon in future games. He can't. Maybe who knows? Maybe they're gonna have some other way, or I read people are gonna work on an unofficial way to transfer. I don't know how that's all gonna work, but kudos to whoever can figure it out. I think that's weird because I had heard about how it's just like, easy how you can transfer like your Pokemon through all the generations and get it to like the current day. If this stops that, that's pretty unfortunate. I'm not in favor of it. But yeah, on the bright-ish side, Pokemon Fire Red and Leaf Green on Switch will support Pokemon Home in October of this year. So I guess that is a plus. And thankfully, they're also giving us, 6 months of warning before they pull the plug. February 27th of next year, they take out Pokemon Bank. So we do have a good warning. Transfer your Pokemon now. That's the only message here. Nothing we can do. We can't change the Pokemon company's mind, of course. But yeah, I don't have any unfinished business there. All my Pokemon are transferred. But yeah, for those who don't have them transferred, do your thing. So overall, a net negative, I would argue, in the Pokemon world. Yep.
For sure.
Oh boy. Okay, well, sad news there to end off, but let's get to a bit of a happier segment, the question block segment where Max and I answer your questions you asked us. Let's go ahead. Let's get to it. Folks, you have made it to the question block segment where Max and I are going to answer your questions. If you want to ask a question to appear on the podcast, there are a few ways to do so. Number one, you can comment on my YouTube community post every week. If you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. That's fine. You can comment down below on any podcast of mine that you see. We will see all the comments and in one big page. We can take your questions from there. You can join the Discord server, link down below. You can ask your question in that server or simply email mariomatterquestions@gmail.com. I might actually remove one of those methods because at this point it's taken way too long to say all those on this podcast. I might just make it like you email. I have no idea. We'll have to see. But first question comes from Blues Animations, who asks, how excited are you for Pokemon Winds and Waves? Max, I'll start with you.
Oh man, I'm gonna be honest. I guess I said it earlier. I used to be really big into Pokemon. I'm not that big into it as much.
Yep.
After Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, that's kind of when I dropped off the Pokemon game. I will still buy and beat the story, but am I excited for it? The water looked pretty good. It's the first time a Pokemon game I feel like has looked good in a long time. So I think I'm more excited than I would typically be, but I'm not as excited as 10-year-old Max would have gone crazy. But today Max is, I don't know.
Right. And I would argue that this today Max as well is looking forward to the game. We'll definitely play it, but I'm not jumping up and down. Maybe you're the same way. And I might just need to see more of the game to be jumping up and down. But I mean, I'm not a massive Pokemon guy. I'm a fan of the series, but I'm not a massive fan, maybe like you. We're really just we have the same name, we have the same thoughts, golly, we're all aligned. But yeah, looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing how it runs, and I hope that it runs well, and I hope that it stays faithful to Pokemon. And why wouldn't it? It's a format that works. I guess I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. We have bits and pieces, yeah. But I want to know more, which we'll probably get, whenever the next presents is. So it could be next February, it could be early, who knows. But yeah, I guess before I can say I'm excited, I want to see more. Out of 10, I would say I'm probably sitting at maybe it sounds pretty low, but like a 3.5, with room to grow. Yeah. Where are you, Max?
I would say I'm at a 4.
Yeah. Sounds
like
about
you said,
right.
Room to grow for sure. I'll probably be more excited the more we get, but we're over a year away from it, so we're probably not going to hear more about it, I feel like, till February of next year.
Yeah, which is also a while away. You got 6 months until then. So yeah, a lot of time, a lot of waiting to be done, but eventually we will know. DI Dungeon 21 asks, huge fan of the podcast. My question for you guys is, which Nintendo series will be getting the next Lego set series? They are so expensive and not affordable. And also, Any tips on becoming a video game content creator? Max, I'll begin with you. Let's start with the first question. What series is getting the next Lego set?
So if I remember correctly, we have Mario, Zelda, and Animal Crossing, right?
Yeah, and like some spin-offs, like, Pokemon, Donkey Kong sort of thing. But yeah, generally, yes.
Okay. So I think it's going to be one of two things. I think it will either be Splatoon. I think Splatoon as a Lego set could do really well. But I also feel like with the popularity of Star Fox, they could do a Lego R-Wing. I feel like that could be a good possibility. And I guess Pikmin as well, because they always like to shove Pikmin in our face.
Yep, for sure. Right. I like those two answers. I think if I had to place money on it, I'd probably go with Splatoon because, I mean, you just look around and that's like the next biggest franchise of Nintendo that they have not done a set on. Mine is like series such as Smash Bros. Like, I don't think Smash Bros. Will get sets. I mean, it could, but I think Splatoon makes the most sense. Imagine how cool Inkling minifigures would be. There's also like a lot that you can do there as well. Imagine like Big Man. Like, there's a lot of opportunity with Splatoon. And, Splatoon 4 is probably not insanely far away. I mean, I'd imagine a couple of years because, like, we just got Raiders, but like it's not 5 years plus probably. So I think that they can line it up either right before the next Splatoon game or like during it. It can line up well. It can be coming soon because they're gonna do the Pokemon sets, which they're already doing in full force, and then once that wraps up and gets almost discontinued, maybe later. I don't even know what's going on. I think if they're gonna make new sets, Splatoon makes sense. I did read they're phasing out the Animal Crossing sets, so I think they're already making room for something new. So yeah, I think my money's on Splatoon. If not Splatoon, that's where it gets tough. I mean, we know Zelda stuff's coming, and it already has come. Yeah, that's where I'm lost. I don't really know what else you could do. Am I forgetting some series? I think what you could do. Here you go. Here's my answer. I think like little Nintendo spins. I think you could do like a Smash Bros. Battlefield set. I think
sick.
You're right. I would love that. Like 2,000 pieces, sick. I think you could do more like what they're doing with the Donkey Kong set. Like it's just kind of a, it's Mario themed, Donkey Kong-ish. Like it's just a spin. It's like an arcade machine looking set. I think things like that are very cool. So I'd say just more overall spins and like cool sets because they made a 2,000 piece Mario Kart set. I think if you did big sets of big Nintendo things, that would be cool. Imagine they even made like, a Nintendo New York building set. Like just cool stuff. Just cool memento Lego sets. I think would be a very, very cool move too. So I think, yep.
The Battlefield idea, I'm thinking about it more. That would be even more sick because you could put your other Lego minifigures with it.
Yeah.
And so it's like a crossover with all the other Lego sets, Lego X Smash Bros. Oh my gosh. Dude, you just came out with $1 million deal right there for Lego. They gotta do it.
Send it to Lego, get it started. And what's also cool is like a lot of sets, not all, but a lot, I feel like are kind of just, they sit there and like are just kind of display pieces. That, I mean, like, I don't play with toys anymore, but like little Jimmy can you move his action figures. It's like a Battlefield thing. It's like a play set, and like it can have cool moving parts or something. Like I think that would be a nice set. That's one that you can use a lot of pieces for. I think there's a lot of good to be made from that. So whenever the next Smash Bros comes out, I think a Battlefield set would be pretty cool. And then our second question from DI Dungeon is, any tips on becoming a video game content creator, Max? What do we got?
I would say for those starting out, and I guess this really goes for any type of YouTuber you're wanting to be, don't pay attention to the numbers. I would say a lot of talented people I know give up because they pay too much attention to like the viewership number, the subscriber number, and so they get demotivated off that. And I would say really don't pay attention to those till like years later of being on YouTube. And I just feel like too many people focus on the number, and that's what demotivates them pretty fast and get a YouTube burnout, basically.
Right. I like that. One that I'm thinking about that I've been having to tell myself recently is like, I feel like sometimes I used to just, and I still probably do it unfortunately, but I'm trying to get out of it, is like sometimes I'll just upload or like make a video just to kind of hit a check mark. Like, oh, I made a video on this, like, so I made a video for this week. All right, check. I, did a review on this game because I, whatever. I'm not sure. Like, check. Like, just like you have goals in your mind that you're like, make one video a week, boom. And like, I do that right now. And I'm trying to do less of that and more so like make sure that the video is good first and then post it instead of just like sitting back and be like, I don't care how it does. I made my one for this week. And I have that problem. I'm not like shaming those who do that, or if anyone listening feels like they do that. I do it myself right now. So I'm trying to get better at, instead of like hitting a checkbox, I made my video. How about I check off like I did the best video that I could with whatever time it had to take, and I'm confident in it, and then I post it. Like that's one thing I've been trying to remember. So yeah, I think point is, don't rush things. Make the best video that you can. Cool beans. Nice. All right, and then we got Shokan asks, hey Max, this is my 4th week of asking you this question. I'm so sorry. And coincidentally, my name is also he said my name is also Max, he says. God, we got 3 Maxes present.
So multiverse of Maxes, I told you.
I'm saying, and I promise you, I did not even I must have read it when I was putting this question on the podcast, but I didn't even think about it. So I'm just now realizing his name's also Max. They ask, so if you were to get rid of one Nintendo generation, example, 4th generation is SNES and Game Boy, which one would it be? Huh. That's one that we got to think about, huh? Unless you have yours.
I have, so there's one that comes to mind, but I don't know if I want to say it, because if I say it, we do get... That's not actually the era I was thinking.
Okay, sorry. I shouldn't have cut you off. Go ahead.
The era that I'm thinking, if I said this, it gets rid of a big part of myself, basically. But so I'll just say it.
Okay.
When I think of one of the worst Nintendo consoles for me personally, this is going to be an extremely hot take. Everyone's going to hate me.
Oh boy.
I think the Wii is up there.
Oh wow.
And the reason why I feel the Wii is up there, hear me out. The Wii does have good games. You got Xenoblade. That's a big part of me. So if the Wii goes, I go, basically.
Sure.
But like Mario Galaxy, that's one of my favorite games of all time. Mm-hmm. But I feel like Nintendo kind of just set back since the Wii was such a big success, and we didn't see as many games from them from a first party perspective. Like you had some Marios, you had some Zeldas, things like Punch Out. I feel like just from a first party perspective, it was one of their worst consoles if you get rid of games like Mario Galaxy. And I know a lot of people like Brawl. I don't like Brawl. I think Brawl is super depressing, other than Subspace Emissary. But if you put Subspace Emissary, take that out of Smash Bros. Brawl, you're not going to like Smash Brawl. It's the only reason why people like Brawl. And I just think Nintendo stepped back and they just watched all the numbers and all the third-party games, because there was so much coming to that system. And they didn't think they had to make as many games compared to some of their other systems. So for me, it's the Wii. I know it's a hot take.
Interesting. But I do want to give you this point, though. He said generation, so SNES and Game Boy would be one. This means you're also taking out the DS, though, because that's kind of one generation of consoles.
Oh, man, I misunderstood the question then. Okay.
Okay, but so you take out Wii. Would you still do it if the DS went with it? That's tough. That's so tough.
It's tough because I know probably a lot of people would say the Wii U 3DS era.
Yeah.
I could never take away that era, because that was when I became a big Nintendo fan, was
Same.
that era. So that's my favorite Nintendo era, to be honest with you. I guess I think that would have to be the era that I would go with still. Even though I love the Nintendo DS, that was a really good handheld. I'm thinking of the other eras, and I feel like that's still the weakest Nintendo era. I know that's going to be a hot take. I know, but
it makes sense though.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it, but your points about it make sense. I think mine is simple, and it's sad that it's so simple because I'm not putting much thought into it. So for those who will be offended by this, I'm sorry. It wasn't very hard for me. But like, you know, I wasn't even alive when this console came out. I would probably go with this guy's example, Max's example, SNES and Game Boy. Because like, listen, great games for their time and everything. Like, changed the game back in the 90s. Awesome. In the day and age I'm in, born in 06, I don't care to go back and play those games. Like, if Super Mario World, if Super Mario Land, Tetris for the Game Boy, Pokemon Red and Blue, if these all went, I think I'll be just fine. Like, I don't care too deeply for those, only because I wasn't alive. Now, if I was alive and I had memories, like, all right, it's gonna be a little hard. It's gonna be a lot harder. But I don't really go back to those games, SNES, Game Boy, often. So I think I'd just go ahead and get rid of that. It's not easy to do, but it's a simple choice. I would definitely not get rid of Switch 2, Switch 1, Wii U, 3DS, Wii, DS. Like, I couldn't, like, I grew up with these. I cannot get rid of those. So let's get rid of an era that I was not there for, because I wasn't there for. It doesn't matter to me. Shoo, gone. So that's my answer. Just simple, get it out of there. And then I always have this problem, and I feel bad, so I'm going to go on my Discord and check this. I stupidly use light mode on Discord, and whenever I take a screenshot of someone's question, I can't read their name because our users in my server are yellow, and it's too bright of a yellow, I can't even read it. The name for this question asker is Lotto Burrito, who asks, "Hey Max, it's so funny when they say 'Hey Max' because like it can like work for you too. Hey Max, what's your top 3 favorite Mario games that are both on the Switch and Switch 2 without Mario Kart? Thank you for your time." So Switch 1 and Switch 2 combined, top 3 Mario games, no Mario Kart. All right, I'm gonna have to think. If you know yours, you can go ahead, but I have to think about mine.
Okay, so hot take again.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like everyone is going to expect probably both of us to put Mario Odyssey on this list.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Mario Odyssey. So I got to be careful what I say here. When I say this, everyone thinks I hate Mario Odyssey. I think Mario Odyssey is overrated.
Oh, wow.
Very overrated game. I do not consider it to be the best 3D Mario game.
Hot takes.
So Odyssey, not a part of the team for my list, at least. So that was an easy one to figure out.
Interesting. The one new 3D Mario game is not on your. That's interesting. So like, what's on it? Mario Tennis Fever? No, I'm just I'm kidding.
So I'm guessing this question doesn't want us to say things like 3D All Stars. I'm guessing, or
maybe you can say that because it is a Mario game on Switch, even though it didn't start there. I would count that.
I would count that. Okay, I think number 3 would probably be 3D All Stars for me.
Okay.
Just because I can go back and play Mario 64, which I love. Mario Galaxy is one of my favorite games of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm always trying to figure out, do I prefer Galaxy 1 or Galaxy 2?
Yeah.
I've always changed my mind. So I think I would go with that one right there.
Gotcha.
For number 2... Ooh... trying to remember all the Mario titles right now.
I'm trying to think about my top 3. I know my top 1. Maybe my top 2.
I know my top 1 as well.
It's tough out here, huh?
Yeah. I completely forgot about this game. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. That'd be up there. That was a good game. I liked Mario Bros. Wonder. Yeah. I will say, I think that one's a little overrated as well. But,
really?
But I would prefer that over Odyssey.
Okay.
The only reason why I say overrated, hear me out.
Yep. I'm listening.
I feel like the only reason why people love Mario Wonder so much is because they were stuck with the new Super Mario Bros. Games for so long that no matter what Nintendo was going to bring out, that was going to be absolutely amazing because it wasn't new Super Mario Bros.
Sure. Yeah.
So
it was fresh. It was like a new take.
Yeah.
Yeah. I see that side of it.
So I'd put that. And then number 1, my favorite 3D Mario game of all time, Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great one, especially with the Bowser's Fury part 2.
Yes, dude. I think one of the best parts of 3D World on the Wii U was the multiplayer.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I always felt like is that it should have had online play. And so when they brought it to Switch, that was like one of the first things they announced was the online play.
Right.
And I was
Amazing.
so pumped because the multiplayer, the way they have that whole competitive system where you get the crown, whoever gets the most, like the highest score on that level, it works so well. People are fighting over the crowns. It made it for a fun experience if you're playing with family, friends. It was such a good game. It had so much content as well. There's like a whole after game that has like one of the hardest Mario levels of all time. And it's such a good game. I love that game to death.
It was great. Wii U, love it. And then when they added Bowser's Fury, I was like, oh, you're giving me more too. This is great. Yep. Yeah, solid top 3. I'm shocked that there is no Odyssey, but you make a good point. I think I have mine, if you're ready to hear it.
I'm ready.
And it's not far off of yours, actually. Dude, we align too much, but mine still is different. Number 3. That's where I put Mario Odyssey. It was still, I mean, it makes my top 3. It was a fine 3D Mario game, but I feel like it didn't, like I mentioned earlier, it's not a game that like just blew my socks off. Oh my gosh, greatest game of all time. Whereas like a game like Donkey Kong Bonanza did that for me. Where I was like, oh my gosh, I won't spoil for those who haven't played it. But like, oh my gosh, like the ending's crazy, fun throughout. Like that's a game I can be like, yes, that is a great game that blew my socks off. Odyssey didn't really do that for me, but I mean, it was still fun. So enough to make the top 3. Number 2, I probably go. And by the way, the reason I'm putting a game that didn't blow my socks off at top 3, I probably wouldn't put like Mario Party Jamboree over top, right? Or like Mario Tennis, you know, so it's still gonna be there.
Yeah.
But my number 2, I think I would go with your 1, Super Mario 3D World. I've always had nostalgia for that game. I played it on the Wii U, got it for Christmas. Doesn't get much better than that. And so I just always loved that game. I played it recently actually, and I don't know what exactly it is. I think just I mean, it's so like it's what the game is, like Mario platforming in 3D with the multiplayer, with the cat costumes. I think it just makes for a great game, and it's kind of a hard thing to talk about because it is just Mario level after level. But when you play it, it's a lot more fun than like just being like, oh, it's Mario but in 3D. Like when you play it, it's a whole different thing. So I think I love it just based on the gameplay alone. And then my number 1. Mario Wonder. I mean, it has to be. And okay. you make a fair point. Like, maybe I was just stuck with the Mario Bros. Style ever since, like, the, you know, DS and Wii U, Mario Bros. U and all that. Maybe I was just stuck there. But I can't deny it was definitely, like, at that point in my life, when it came out, October of 2023, like, my gaming levels were kind of on a decline. I was playing less and less and less. When I played Mario Wonder on launch day for 10 hours straight, I knew I had something special in there. Like, this game was special. Something about it. I love the Wonder Flower gimmick. It changes things up. Like, I felt like there was truly something new to each level, whereas, like, the only thing new in a Mario Bros. Wii level is, like, whether you have a Yoshi or not. Like, something like that, you know? There was always something brand new, and that's what I loved. In a world where, we, you know, most of us have brain rot and we're all fast-paced, Mario Wonder fits that perfectly. And I just think the art style, too, is very nice and very, like, cute, and I just love looking at it. And sound effects are pleasing. Music is even better. It's one of my favorite Mario soundtracks.
It does have a good soundtrack.
It's just so upbeat and positive and very fitting to the actual setting. I wish Pipe Rock Plateau World 1 was my birthplace. I just love the game so much. And it is my favorite 2D Mario and favorite Mario game of all time, believe it or not. I just had such a good time with it. And I 100%ed it, and there's a lot of good content. And I just, oh my goodness, multiplayer too. Don't get me started. Switch 2 edition, the DLC, the minigames. Oh my good. Don't get me started on Mario Wonder. That game is my number 1 for sure. So I'm saying those are my top 3 there. So yeah, solid top 3s all around. You have the hot takes, Max. I love them. I love them. I love them. It brings spiciness to the podcast. We're gonna farm comments around here. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I've been told that my hot takes are some of the worst takes in gaming history.
But at the same time, like, it's your opinion. Everyone can have their own, obviously. So, like, it makes sense. If that's how you feel, like, my favorite console is the Wii U. Like, yours
same.
Okay, wow.
Because the Wii U was such a special thing to. That's how I became such a big Nintendo fan. Was that era? So,
same here.
Yeah. Wow.
I think like most of the time, the console that you grow up with, like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old, is the console that ends up being your favorite. Because I know, like, older people, not that they're old, I'm so sorry, who are like, man, the NES is my favorite. I'm like, have you played the modern games? Yeah, but I grew up with it. Like, everyone who grew up with whatever console, like, that's your favorite console. Not always, but a lot of times. And I think for us, it was that Wii U and 3DS era. So yeah, that's why it's my favorite. It was so charming, so uplifting, and it had good games. And I think to anyone who says that the Wii U didn't have good games, why are half of them on Switch?
Yeah,
anywho,
exactly,
you know,
exactly.
Right. So, anywho, we all have hot takes, but I like yours, spicy, Max. But that is it for the Mario Matter episode 205, Max. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for the knowledgeable Nintendo facts that you brought to the podcast. If you want to plug your channel, your socials, anything upcoming for you, the floor is yours. You can do it now.
So it's MonadoMax on YouTube, and then I'm pretty sure it's MonadoMax on every platform. So trying to get better at posting on social medias. I think I've done pretty well over the last 2 months. So yeah, but check out the YouTube channel. Tons of Nintendo content, very much variable stuff right there. I try to be posting a different video every day, almost, or not every day, 4 to 5 videos a week is what I do, and it's something different each video, and I think that makes the channel pretty unique.
Awesome. We will have his links down below. I will see you all next week for even more Nintendo goodness, maybe even a big announcement. Who knows? I'll see you all then. Adios.